I'm going to show you how I go about making my beats, more about how I construct my beat, then going into depth about effects and layering stuff.
I don't know what you have got, girl. No, baby. Or just what keeps. You can do the thing do to me, you, baby. Said
I want to sit down, talk about how I do my bar breakdown. I use double time, I don't use single time, so 8 bars would really be 4 bars. I'm going to show you how I set up my sample chops, how I change up my sample chops, bring it back to the original composition, and then switch up the ending. We're going to start off by setting the BPM to lay down our chops. These are the chops that I wanted to use. So this one sample right here, kick, snare, kick, kick, snare. So we want the snare to follow that bass note. Okay, so roughly it's 171.4. We are going to up that to 172, keep it even, and if we need to give or take some, we will once the chops are laid, and we'll see how it loops. You know I like to lay down chops and then switch it up with the ending, so we're going to keep it real simple right now. We're going to lay down a quick 2 bars. I'm going to use double time, which is going to be 4 bars. We're going to lay that down and make sure that's smooth. We'll lay some drums over it, and then we'll get more creative and switch up the ending, switch up the 8 bar ending as well. This sample chop seems to line up with the snare and go smoothly into the next chop. So I think we're good with that. Our BPMs are good. All the sample chops line up. So now we can drop the drums from here. And then from there, we could change up the ending for the 4th bar, which would be 8 bar double time. Go back to the original and then change up the end again. From there, I take my drums, hit the copy, events, kick. Let's start off with 5, bar 5. Remember, I'm using double time. Make sure kick, and we're going to merge it. Go back to events, kick. Going to go from 1 to 9, and now it's going to start at bar 9. Merge. Double time, that's going to give us 16 bars, but really it's only 8 bars. So depending on how you lay your drums, you can do your kick, go back to your snare, make sure it's 1 to 5, snare, and it's going to start off at 5, merge, again, snare, it's going to go 1 to 17, right now it's going to go 1 to 9, make sure your snare is selected, it's going to start at bar 9. We have a loop, we have to change up our loop, we're going to find something to put on the end of our last bar to sort of try and change it up. So when you're going through your samples, you have to think of a couple chops that you're going to have to use to change up your beat, and that's going to sound good. So that's why I have those voices, sort of trying to change it up. So remember, when you're using sample chops and there's kicks and snares in them, you're going to have to place them in a certain position where your kick is going to overlap that sample and the snare is not going to stand out and be offbeat. Usually when I'm making my beat, I do a couple different versions where I change up the ending and see which one sounds better.